So Palpatine was in love with this crime lord on Coruscant in the underworld and got his heart broken. Poor little Palps. I hope Vader was there to wipe his tears and give him a nice little cuddle at night. Hey guys, found Death Star. Today I'm going to talk about a possible connection to an old TV show that Lucas was trying to get made, and connecting that to the alleged Reddit leak for the script for episode 9. So if you guys don't want to know any of the leaks or spoilers, this contains potential spoilers, then don't watch this video until after December and then come back and watch it and see if the rumors were true or not. So this is coming from Inverse, and this is saying forgotten Star Wars TV script may explain shocking Rey Palpatine connection. Back when Lucas was making a crime-centered TV show, Palpatine's origin was connected. Is Rey really Palpatine's granddaughter? And assuming dark-side clones are out of the picture and Rey is Palpatine's biological granddaughter, who in this redonkulous hypothetical scenario was Rey's biological grandmother? A new fan theory, so it's a fan theory, but it's based on something, suggests an old George Lucas plotline might have the answers, and that connection could be revealed in Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. But this is probably one theory we should hope doesn't come true. Here's what's going on. Speculative Star Wars spoilers ahead. Spoiler alert. On Wednesday, a new thread in the Star Wars speculation subreddit reintroduced the idea that an abandoned backstory for Sheev Palpatine would have given the nefarious emperor a mobster love interest. Basically, in 2016, news broke that George Lucas had toyed with the idea that Palpatine got his feelings hurt. Very emotional guy. He's a sensitive, dark Lord of the Sith. By a woman who had ties to the criminal underworld on Coruscant. This storyline would have played out in a TV series called Star Wars Underworld, a show George Lucas actively tried to get made before abandoning the project because of a lack of funding. Honestly, that's shocking. I can't believe that Lucas couldn't get a Star Wars Underworld TV show, live-action TV show made because he couldn't get the funding for it? Really? You got funding, well, I guess you have Disney's machine behind Star Wars Resistance cartoon, which was just not, it's not very good. I couldn't get into it. It's nothing to write home about, there's nothing exciting about it. But you've got money for that, and you have money for the sequel trilogy, but Lucas couldn't get a show made? That's just crazy to me. Back in 2017, Ronald D. Moore, who was a writer on the ill-fated series, told Inverse that the show was going to be a super hardcore sci-fi crime drama set in the Star Wars universe. It would have been like The Sopranos, Moore said. I would have been very, very interested in seeing that. I think, especially with Lucas at the helm, I think that could have been a fantastic TV show that really delved deeper into the mythos, probably tied more into the EU material, than Disney just throwing it out. Or modifying it, I guess, to some extent. So what the hell does any of this have to do with Rey and the Rise of Skywalker? Honestly, probably nothing. Thanks for watching. Everyone involved with Star Wars Underworld has repeatedly said the project was totally shelved in 2012. And because it was part of George Lucas's old canon, there's no reason to believe Lucasfilm is reviving random story points from something that was never finished. I would take umbrage with that statement because it seems from, again, if any of the Reddit leaks are true, it seems like there's going to be a final fight with Rey and Kylo Ren against Palpatine, according to the Reddit script leaks. Now, in this fight, allegedly, they're going to get some help with Force Ghost Luke and possibly Force Ghost Leia. Who knows if Force Ghost Anakin's going to show up to finish the job that he already finished in Return of the Jedi. That's another story. So having Force Ghost come and help them fight Palpatine, that was in George Lucas's original script for Return of the Jedi. They were supposed to fight on like a volcanic planet, basically Mustafar, and Luke was going to get help from Obi-Wan and I believe Yoda to take out the Emperor. So that is already Disney taking plot points from an old Lucas canon, his old script, and reintroducing it into their new movie. Now that's if this is true, if the Reddit leak has any validity at all. If it's not true, then I guess maybe this, maybe their Disney is throwing out everything, other than picking pieces that are fan favorites. We'll take Thrawn, we'll throw him back in there. There's certain things that they seem to be bringing back, but if the Reddit leak's true, then they already are picking. They already took one of the major plot points from Lucas's original script and put it into their new movie. So I would not put it past them to take something from a script that Lucas wrote for a TV show that he had planned and use that, try to filter some of those ideas into this new movie as well. So that's just one thing, based on, because this article doesn't get into that. But when I was reading it here, that just came to mind. Like, but they're already possibly doing that. All right, back to the article. That said, if there was some connection, the theory would go like this. Palpatine's mobster girlfriend had a child, and in secret, that person became one of Rey's parents. Retroactively, this would mean that Rey has hardcore dark side energy because of her family linked to Palpatine. But it would also mean she had some space crime DNA too. If we keep going from there, it could play into the idea that crime boss Kira from Solo is Rey's mom. We've heard this, well, I've heard this rumor before, that Kira is Rey's mom and Han is her dad, and they had this, I don't know, the timing. The problem with me with that theory is, the problem for me with that theory is that it doesn't fit. That would mean, based on her age, Rey's age, that would mean that Han was already with Leia. So were they separated? Did they separate kind of soon after the Return of the Jedi? In the 10 years post Return of the Jedi, Han would have had to separate from Leia or, cheat on her. And that's just not Han. Han would have never done that. I mean, I guess he did. I guess he did separate from Leia, according to Disney. But the Han that we know would never have done that. So I have a little problem with that theory. But, going along with it for the sake of the article here. And that Han Solo is Rey's illegitimate dad. And if that were true, Han would suddenly become Palpatine's son-in-law, which which would mean that Kylo Ren would be her second cousin. So Reylo would be a very odd Luke and Leia kind of situation. If all this sounds a little too nuts, which it does sound a lot too nuts, we can take the Han Kira thing out of the mix and simply say Rey's grandmother, Palp's lover, was another previously unknown character, and that parent's child, one of Rey's parents, was Kylo Ren, as Kylo Ren said, was nobody. Still this theory us to picture, I don't think that's written properly. Still, this theory, us to picture Palpatine having sex, which honestly seems like the main reason why it should be disqualified. Yeah, that's a very scary thought. I mean, I guess he can change his appearance because we saw that in Rebels, but that was still a hologram. He wasn't physically there. So, he would look like the Palpatine that we know from the second half of Revenge of the Sith onward. Well, that's the gist of the article. So Palpatine was in love with this crime lord on Coruscant in the underworld and got his heart broken. Poor little Palps. I hope Vader was there to wipe his tears and give him a nice little cuddle at night. It's funny to think about. I'm sure if we would have gotten a TV show that dealt with this, and Lucas would have written it, if we had seen it play out in a Sopranos type style, I'm sure we could have. We probably would have bought into it because it would have hopefully been done in a way that was believable. But just hearing it out of nowhere for the first time, Palpatine with a heartbroken, it sounds kind of silly because you just think this guy has no emotions, but clearly he does. Well, let me know what you guys think of this theory in the comments down below. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I'm on Twitter at Final Death Star 1, also on Instagram, so you can find me there. Until next time, lock the doors and hope they don't have blasters.